Here's a hard truth. 90% of people will never achieve the success they dream of. Not because they weren't smart enough, not because they didn't want it badly enough, but because they didn't understand the rules of the game. So let me ask you, are you willing to be like the 90% or are you ready to step into the 10th? We're going to break down exactly why most people never make it and how you can. We'll go deep. We'll talk about mindset, habits, choices, and the silent killers of ambition that no one warns you about. And trust me, this isn't some surface-level, get-rich-quick nonsense. This is real, and it might just change your life. Grab a drink, balance distractions, and lean in, because the next 50 minutes could determine the next 50 years. They wait for permission. Most people are stuck in a loop of hesitation, waiting for someone else to give them the green light. Parents, teachers, bosses. But the truth? No one's coming to save you. Imagine if Elon Musk had waited for someone to approve his ideas, or if Oprah had waited for someone to say, "You're good enough." What if the only permission you need is already in your hands? They fear failure more than regret. People think failure is the end, but regret, that lingers. We fear embarrassment more than mediocrity. We avoid short-term pain, only to guarantee long-term suffering. Ever noticed how we treat pizza toppings with more decisiveness than our career paths? But what if failure was actually the most important teacher you'll ever have? They lack financial literacy. School taught us about mitochondria, but not compound interest. Weird, right? Without understanding how money works, you can work your entire life and still stay broke. Imagine knowing exactly how to turn $100 into $10,000. That's not a fantasy, it's a skill. What's the one financial principle that self-made millionaires live by? We'll get to that soon. They chase comfort instead of growth. Comfort feels good now, but growth pays dividends forever. Netflix, fast food, swiping endlessly on TikTok. It all feels like reward, but it's the trap. What if the comfort you're addicted to is the very thing killing your potential? They obsess over long-term vision. The 10% don't live for Friday nights. They live for financial freedom. They know where they're going. Every decision they make is tied to a vision. If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. But how do you build that vision when you're lost in survival mode? They build before they brag. Instagram isn't success. Discipline is. The 10% are building in silence. They're grinding while others are posting about grinding. If your success is only real when you post it, is it really real? Why is delayed gratification the ultimate flex? The answer might surprise you. They master emotional discipline. Most people are ruled by emotions. The 10% use emotions as tools, not tyrants. They don't chase dopamine. They create systems. Imagine no longer being a slave to your mood. Imagine choosing power over panic. But what's the actual system that separates emotions from execution? They learn, unlearn, and relearn. The world is changing fast. The 10% adapt even faster. The most dangerous phrase in success? I already know that. Every book, podcast, course, or mentor could hold the key to your next breakthrough. They invest in themselves first. Your mind is your greatest asset, period. Forget spending money to look rich. The 10 spend money to become rich. How would life change if you treated your growth like your rent, non-negotiable? Want to know the 3 investments that generate guaranteed ROI? We're almost there. They build multiple streams of income. A single paycheck is a single point of failure. Side hustles, digital products, real estate, passive income. These aren't just buzzwords. they're your escape plan. In a world of layoffs and AI, depending on one income is financial suicide. They surround themselves with winners. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Winners challenge you, complainers drain you. Ever try talking about big goals with the small-minded people? It's like explaining Wi-Fi to a potato. They take relentless action. The difference between dreaming and doing? One word: action. The 10% don't wait until they feel ready. They move, adjust, and repeat. Every day you wait is a day someone else gets ahead. They use their pain as fuel, while most avoid pain. The 10% channel it. Every setback, every rejection, every failure, it becomes the reason they keep going. Think of J.K. Rowling living on welfare before publishing Harry Potter. She didn't quit. She wrote through the pain. So the question is, are you using your pain to power you or to paralyze you? They never stop evolving. Success isn't a destination. It's a moving target. The 10% don't sit on past wins. They're always stretching, always learning. Success is rented, and rent is due every day. They have a bias toward execution. Ideas are everywhere. Action is rare. The 10% don't need to feel motivated, they just execute. While others are still planning their perfect morning routine, the 10% are already halfway through their to-do list. They take extreme ownership. The 10% don't blame the economy, their parents, or their past. They own everything, even their failures. Because when you take ownership, you take power. They protect their time like gold. You can lose money and make it back. But lose time, it's gone forever. The 10% treat time like it's sacred. While others binge watch, they build. While others scroll, they scale. They operate with urgency. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They know it doesn't exist. Now is always the moment to act. They stay uncomfortable. Growth lives outside the comfort zone. The 10% intentionally step into discomfort, cold showers, public speaking, hard conversations, because comfort is the enemy of greatness. They mentor and get mentored. They know they don't have all the answers, so they seek guidance and they give it. It multiplies when it's shared. They think in decades, not days. While others want quick wins, the 10% think long-term. They're planting seeds today they know won't sprout for years. But when they do, they harvest generational wealth. They believe, relentlessly, even when no one else does. Even when they've failed 1,000 times. Even when the world says it's impossible. Because belief is the foundation of every breakthrough. So now you know. The 90% wait, the 10% act, the 90% dream, the 10 do. But the biggest question is, which side will you choose? If you made it this far, you're already different. You're hungry, focused, ready. And if you want to see what relentless action looks like in real life, watch this next video. 7 habits of self-made millionaires you can start today. Click it now. Because the clock is ticking, and your time is now.